Hey everyone, it's Donter, and what a wild week and a half. I've gone up to nearly 150 subscribers, which honestly wasn't my plan at all, as I was hoping to reach 100 by the end of the year, but honestly, the support that I've been getting is actually fantastic. I've really enjoyed going through the comments, responding to as many as I can. It's so awesome that a lot of you guys have different ideas, thoughts, and favorite artists from me. It's been awesome. This video is experimental. I'm not exactly sure how cemented I am on the ideas for the topics in this video, so if anyone has any other ideas about like how I should structure these or what topics I should cover, let me know in the comments below so I can keep it like making sense. Yeah, just let me know. Let's just get to the topic of the video though, and talk about one of the most influential artists of all time in the Pokemon TCG space, being the one and only Tomokazu Komiya, who's an artist who's been with the Pokemon TCG since all the way back in Neo Genesis, a set released 24 years ago, all the way back in the year 2000, which is honestly ridiculous to think about. This legendary artist has illustrated 267 total cards, sprawling throughout all the different eras of the Pokemon TCG. This video will be broken down into multiple parts. First, we'll be starting off with a full timeline of the evolution of Komiya's artwork, comparing the oldest artworks to the newest artworks, going by era, starting with the Neo to EX era, and then the Diamond and Pearl to Black and White era, XY Sun and Moon, and then finally to Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. And I'm going to be kind of trying to analyze the artwork and seeing any differences that I can notice between their artwork and the eras. And then, secondly, I'll be talking about Komiya's trainer cards, which is going to be a brief segment because they haven't done a lot of trainers, but they are notable in their own section. And then finally, I'll talk about special illustrations that they've worked on, so illustration rares or alternate artwork cards or just like promos that I think look really cool or interesting. This video will be packed with a lot of information, so just try to keep up with me. Firstly, let's lay out a timeline of Tomokazu Komiya's artworks, starting off with their humble beginnings. Komiya's initial appearance featured typically abstract artworks, which is a big draw for the artist. And, even as early as the Neo era, their style really shined through like a beacon, with their debut to the Slowpoke, which lays down on the floor, drooling. With a simplistic background that features a tree and apples hanging off the branches, it looks nice for a starting card for sure, and definitely put them apart from other artists in this time. Secondly, I wanted to talk about the Dark Slowking. It grimaces mischievously, with a dynamic dark light that makes the Pokemon look truly menacing, giving the Pokemon a goofy and scary appearance at the same time, which is perfect for a Pokemon like a Dark Slowking would be. Their vending machine cards are particularly noteworthy, with a cute card like the Chansey, which holds its egg in its hand as it smiles playfully and obliviously. In the Versus expansion, a Japanese exclusive expansion, Komiya was commissioned to work on all of Jasmine's Pokemon, who trains Poison-type Pokemon, giving a Pokemon like Shuckle a funny personality with it trying to move a boulder, or a beautiful, cool illustration with the Janine's Ariados, which has a wonderfully styled background, with a Pokemon whose red accents stand out from the vibrant background. The E-Series brings us some of the most fantastic illustrations from all of the older artists, and Komiya's artwork shines just as much as it did before, with amazing, wonderful cards like the Keybone, with its sad and captivating atmosphere, to the Bulbasaur, who holds its hands up to the sun, and the Ditto, which puts up his dukes as it looks angrily in a cave, with paintings in the background. I think with these three cards, you can clearly tell that Komiya's style is definitely evolving. They're getting a little bit more detailed, and they're putting a little bit more, not effort, but they're just getting a little bit more comfortable with their own style. In the EX era, Komiya worked on many beautiful illustrations, beefing up their backgrounds, as is shown in the Barbroach card from EX Dragon, with a detailed, rigid wave in the background. And one of my favorite Komiya cards of all time, the Heracross from EX Team Rocket Returns. The Pokemon looks genuinely mischievous, and having the Pokemon emerging from behind a tree stalking the camera is a wonderful shot. I really love the colors and the simplicity that Komiya put into this artwork, while also giving this Pokemon a ton of personality. Finally, I'll talk about the Wooper Delta species from Dragon Frontiers, because I just had to sneak in a Delta species Pokemon in here. I think this card is beautiful. The green glow around the Pokemon indicates a type difference, and the Pokemon's face oozes personality. Moving into the Diamond and Pearl era, it's interesting to see Komiya's artwork further develop. Where the earlier eras were focused more on simplistic, silly artworks with simplistic backgrounds, I feel like Komiya started to test themselves a little bit more with the backgrounds, like the Poochyena from Platinum Base, as it lays flat on the ground, with a visible shadow and a uniquely patterned staircase that has depth. The Haunter from Platinum Arceus has a ton of personality, with light blaring from the background, and the Pokemon looking down at the camera with a mischievous gaze. In the Heart Gold and Soul Silver era, Komiya had few cards, but I do love the Tauros from Heart Gold and Soul Silver Unleashed. It's such a beautiful illustration that provides a lot of personality, allowing us to question how the Tauros in the card is truly feeling, while having the light of the sun illuminating down on the Pokemon. Moving into the black and white era, we start to see even more of a shift in the artwork, just a pure advancement and honing of his craft, with deeply intricate cards like the Timber, as well as the Pit of. Both of them look very stunning. They're both packed with many details that make them visually appealing. His art only continued to improve in the XY era, with correct me if I'm wrong, one of Komiya's first Pokemon cards to include trainers in the card, with the Electrode from Roaring Skies. The people on the card look pretty goofy, which add personality to the card. Speaking of personality, the Diglett from Generations is just a plain cute card, with the Diglett surrounded by flowers. The Rotom card also looks amazing, with a cool purple outline and more people in the background working on some code from what I'm assuming. In the Sun and Moon era, you can really see that Komiya's more modern style is starting to shine through, with cards like the Snorunt, Araquanid, and the Whalmer. These cards all have more abstract feels, their colors are more crazy and just more visually appealing to look at in my opinion. They usually feature a specifically colored outline, like, for example, for the Araquanid, it features a kind of pinkish outline that kind of shifts into red. It's a very unique outline for a Pokemon like Araquanid. You can clearly see it on its inside head. It's very clearly red, which is a really cool idea for an outline for a Pokemon that's predominantly blue. The Sword and Shield era brought us some of the craziest Tomokazu Komiya illustrations we've seen thus far, just really abstract, with deep purples, yellows, and greens, as well as all other kinds of colors. Cards like the Bunnelby, or the Pineco, the Gloom, or the Jinx. My personal favorite regular Tomokazu Komiya card from the Sword and Shield era is the Dreepy from Silver Tempest. I don't know why, I just love the vibe of the card. And in the Scarlet and Violet era, cards like the Lechonk or the Haunter from 151 shows us more of that crazy Tomokazu Komiya style, as well as a card like the Impidimp from Stellar Crown, which is beautifully confusing with its colors and shapes, but still undeniably a Tomokazu Komiya artwork. Komiya's artwork has changed a lot, from simplistic shapes and colors, but still abstract artwork, to more abstract and general artwork, even with the colors and the shapes and the outlines. Everything just looks different from how they used to do it, but that's definitely not a bad thing. Anyways, we're going to be talking about their trainers next. Back in the day, Tomokazu Komiya's trainers used to be so full of life, with their colors, or the expressive Pokemon that resided on the cards, such as the Focusing Machop and the Focus Band, or the adorable card that is the Pokemon Personality Test, probably one of my favorite Tomokazu cards. Komiya only really ever did trainers back in the Neo era, but their short run of trainers were so expressive. Hopefully we'll see more of them in the future. Finally, we'll talk about Komiya's alternate artwork cards. This category includes full art Pokemon, specific promos, or just unique cards that I think should be mentioned. The first instance of a special artwork is this really awesome Japanese Psyduck promo, featuring a worried Psyduck next to a person who's freaking out. The next instance of a special card that I can see is the Eevee and Snorlax GX alternate artwork promo. This card features two fan-favorite Generation 1 Pokemon eating berries, with that signature Tomokazu style, which looks beautiful on this card, especially in the full art format, and it looks goofy, which is perfect for a Pokemon like Snorlax, who's already perceived to be kinda goofy. The next card that Komiya did was another Psyduck card, which is one of 4 Scream promos that only very few people received. This card features Psyduck screaming with Gengar and Haunter in the background. This card has a wonderful atmosphere, and the little paint splotch patterns on Psyduck look really nice. The next card is a Slowking V alternate artwork from Chilling Reign. It has a nice red outline around the Pokemon, with many unique shapes and colors around Slowking, as well as this interesting river that kinda looks like alphabet soup to me. This card truly is a work of art. A strange, twisted work of art, but a work of art to be sure. And now, I'll be talking about the Pikachu V Union, a card that many artists contributed on. So let's just talk about Tomokazu Komiya's part. For Tomokazu Komiya's Pikachu, we can see it on the right side of the artwork, where Pikachu looks angry and punches upwards with one arm. It has a distinctive teal outline around the Pokemon, and definitely stands out as Komiya's artwork in that sense. Our next card is one of my favorites that Komiya has done, being the Drowsy illustration rare from Scarlet and Violet base set. I really love how there's a spotlight on the Pokemon being featured. The colors in this card are fantastic as well. All the people being kind of etched out in purple, where the spotlight shines down, just looks phenomenal. Amusement park aesthetic works well for a Komiya card as well, especially in that silly style. In Paldeya Evolved, we got a full evolution line for Baxcalibur by Tomokazu. These cards all look phenomenal, with them getting more abstract as they go, with the Baxcalibur looking crazy, but the Frigibax looks more reserved in comparison. Komiya's final special artwork was the Brute Bonnet from Paradox Rift. This card has an especially busy style, as the different plants have all unique shapes, sizes, and colors. Brute Bonnet stands out in the background with that dark shading. It's practically the only thing in the artwork that's consistent, which helps it stand out quite well. In conclusion, Tomokazu Komiya is truly a legendary artist in the Pokemon TCG. Their artworks pave the path for crazy and unique artworks, which is what we've been seeing recently in the Scarlet and Violet era. It's been great looking over the evolution of their cards, all the way from 20 years ago to today. 24 actually, sorry. Hopefully Komiya continues to impress us all with their silly and crazy artworks. If you're looking for an abstract artist that has a deep history in the TCG, then Komiya might be a wonderful pick to start collecting. Anyways guys, this has been Daunter, and once again, thank you so much for all your support on the channel. Almost having 150 subscribers. Well, it's pretty much been a dream for me. I mean, the dream was to get 100 subscribers, and you guys blew that out of the water. If you guys have anything you want to tell me, or let me know in the comments, I'm totally open to talk. But yeah, hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.